you. Nice. Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Hi Tom.
Da 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 da. Friday work day and I'm pushing broom. 5 at 5, you know I'll be out soon.
Oh, hi, sorry to bother you. Is it next door, Jack's dad? Does he still live there?
Jack?
You know Jack Maidman, the young boy? And his dad lived there next door?
No.
He's moved, have he?
He put that for you in about 8-9 years.
The guy who lives there still there, he's been there for 8-9 years. That's the same guy, that's his son's in school with my boy, that's all. So,
oh, right.
But his boy said there's a bit of a to-do going on with the kids, that's all. His boy said in the group that his dad's left or something, so I was like, oh right, so I come up. Yeah, I'm not sure with the mum. I only seem like on the school rent. I know this mum don't live there with them and all that, but I don't know where she lives. I haven't got a clue, like, so, but I don't know. Kids being kids, eh?
You're right.
Spiteful. So I just thought, right, let's get them together and just have a chat about it. So, alright, no problem. I'll go back and see if he's still there. So
you'll probably be here tomorrow morning.
That's alright. Yeah, I've been working, but I'll come after school, I expect.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Alright, mate.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
Domestic automatic washing machines have been around since the 1930s, and nowadays they're everywhere, with over 97% of UK households using one.
It's arguably one of the most important appliances we own, with many households using them over 200 times a year.
So, when you want to purchase a new washer, the question is, should you invest in a premium machine, or would a budget appliance be better value for money? Today, I'm giving two 9-kilogram capacity machines a spin to find out. First up is this premium option from Germany, the Miele WED164. Earlier this year, it got a Best Buy and Top Eco Buy awards from consumer champions Which.
And it's got a Class A energy rating, which should mean it's economical to run.
But all these features don't come cheap. The Miele costs £877. Our budget model is from Italy, and this Indesit, which has a speed wash function, comes in at around a third of the price.
At £309.99, it still has a Class A energy rating and all the functions you'd expect from your washing machine. The question is, can it keep a clean sheet against the premium competition in a series of real-world tests?
To find out, I'm spending the day at Can Do Laundry and Linen, a commercial laundry business in South Wales. Dan Shepherd founded the company when he was just 19, and what he doesn't know about washing machines isn't worth knowing.
Dan, wonderful to see you. Thank you for helping us out with this test. I mean, clearly here you do masses of laundry. How many items do you get through in a week?
We process 250,000 items a week.
Wow.
Predominantly based with the hospitality sector, cleaning bed linen, table linen, towel linen.
Gosh.
Our first test of the day is going to determine which of our machines performs best when washing on eco mode. With the cost of electricity rising dramatically in recent years, finding ways to reduce energy use around the home is more important than ever.
Both of these machines we're testing today have eco modes. How can we put them to the test?
Well, I know a couple of locals that I'm sure will be happy to help. So if you take these bags, go fill them up, and then we'll go put them to the test.
I'll tell them you sent me.
Yeah.
I go on a quick tour of South Wales, picking up grubby garments to give our washing machines a tough workout. First stop, a steel workshop.
Ah, Joseph.
Oh, right, John.
Excellent. Great to see you. You've got some mucky overalls, have we?
Yes, I got the one.
Superb. They look perfect for my washing machine test. Good.
Yes,
excellent. Thank you very much. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
Now, I'm told you have some chef's gear for me.
I do.
Suitably grubby.
Here you go.
Aha. Thank you very much. Ah, Reece.
Hi, John.
Great to see you.
You too.
You should have some mucky rugby jerseys.
I do indeed. See how you get on with them.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Cheers now. Bye-bye.
Hey, John.
Yes, I've got
How'd you
some
get
stuff which I think should be quite testing. Serious stains. I mean, look at that.
Time to load the machines. Dan has the premium Miele and I have the budget Indesit.
So we're going to try them both on the Eco 40 to 60 setting.
To measure the amount of energy both machines use, we're plugging them into power meters. And to make it a fair test, we're using identical loads with the same domestic detergent in both. Straight away, there's an obvious difference between them.
I can't help noticing you've got a smaller door on yours,
Yeah.
even though they're both 9 kilo capacity.
Yes. It is a bit awkward if you've got a big load. Obviously, big load, small door doesn't necessarily go hand in hand.
The Miele has 11 wash cycles that are selected using a dial. Most modern washing machines have an eco mode, which runs for longer than a normal cycle, but uses less water and operates at a lower temperature. It reduces the amount of electricity used because 90% of the machine's energy consumption comes from heating the water.
And how long is yours going to take?
Mine's going to take 3 hours and 29 minutes, John.
Right. So, onto the Indesit and bigger door.
My budget Indesit has an impressive 16 different cycles.
Eco 40 to 60 is 9. Swizzle round to 9. And the duration, which is a bit longer than yours at 3:45.
Okay.
Well, I think we better get them washing.
Yeah.
After nearly 4 hours of washing, it's time to see how they got on. The premium Miele used 0.84 kilowatt-hours of energy, which equates to roughly 25p at current electricity prices. The budget Indesit, despite running for 16 minutes longer, used slightly less energy, but not enough to change how much it cost to run. Still 25 pence. But will there be any difference in the quality of their cleaning?
The chef's gear is pretty equal.
I can't see a difference between them. I mean, they've both done very well at getting rid of all the food stains. I think let's move on to the rugby jerseys.
OK. So again, both of them did a really good job.
I mean, they look well used, but clean nonetheless.
And they smell really good, considering what we had to deal with before.
Yes, I think a good result on
what I am
the
really interested to see is how the overalls
they
stood up to the test. So they did a good job, considering that these are old stains.
Paint and oil and stuff like that.
You know, some of these stainage will probably need a bit more heat.
So the quality of the wash is very similar, the energy consumption is very similar, and even the time they take is similar.
Yes, they're pretty equal in the results.
So overall, do you think it's a draw?
I think it's a draw for test one, absolutely.
For our second test, we're going to see how the machines cope when it comes to removing tough stains on whites, the most challenging wash for any household.
So I thought we'd do some whitewash testing on a couple of napkins.
Aha. And you must get through loads of these, I guess.
We get through about 50,000 napkins a week, actually. Ooh. So, yeah, we see a fair few.
Time to make some mess with a selection of the worst everyday stains for our washing machines to try and remove. Here's napkin 1.
OK, so let's start on the pen.
Yep. Lipstick.
Lipstick.
I imagine that's going to be quite a challenge for any washing machine.
It pretty much is one of the most difficult things to get out for any kind of linen.
Next, a splash of coffee, then some fake tan.
It's one of the most difficult things to get out.
That's my stain of choice, red wine.
Very good choice.
And now a smear of gravy.
Pretty natural.
And all those stains are repeated on a second napkin. Excellent.
OK.
Jolly good. Before we commence the cleaning, we need to measure how dirty our napkins truly are. This machine is a Digi-Eye. It uses a professional camera and advanced software to examine colour in forensic detail. It's the gold standard for measuring colour and will detect the tiniest stain left behind after the clean.
See white lipstick, really ingrained. See the pattern of the actual napkin, the cotton.
A baseline image from both napkins before the wash will enable us to find out with precision which machine is best. Again, we're using identical detergent in each machine, and we've set them to the same cycle, this time 60-degree cottons. And to replicate the sort of wash you'd do at home, we're also adding a large bedsheet. When the machines finish their cycles, we give the napkins a visual inspection. Well, let's see what's come out in the wash. Is it a whitewash?
Well, not quite. It's quite similar in both washes, in all fairness.
Yes.
You can obviously see that the lipstick is quite prevalent.
As you predicted, that was going to be most difficult to shift.
Most difficult. But the machines did pretty good in removing your red wine.
And the fake tan has come out better than you actually expected.
Yeah, much better than I actually thought. To be honest, I would be very hard pushed to determine
which one's best out of the two. Yeah, no, agreed. Dan's expert eye can't spot any difference, but what will the Digi-Eye be able to detect? By comparing them to the images taken before the wash, the machine assesses the percentage of each stain that's been removed. And here are the results.
What we have just calculated is an average across all 6 stains.
Yes.
So machine 1, which is the premium one, provided a stain removal scoring of 88.86.
It's got rid of 88.86% of the stains.
It did indeed, yes. And then the budget provides an 87.31.
On average, the premium Miele removed 1.5% more of the stains than the budget Indesit. So a slight advantage to the Miele in test 2.
Marginally.
Marginally. So, after a day testing the eco and whitewash cycles of both washing machines, which does Dan think offers best value for money?
Considering that there's only 1.5% stain removal difference, and the premium is nearly 3 times as expensive as the budget, I'd say the budget wins.
Indesit did reasonably well at everything. It certainly was impressive cleaning. It does take longer to do everything. It was a bit noisier. I mean, I agree with you. I think the Indesit clearly represents better value for money. So the winner's going to be the budget Indesit on this occasion.
It is, yes.
Brilliant.
Thanks for that money-saving advice, John.
Friday work day and I Friday work day and I'm pushing broom. 5 to 5, you know I'll soon. Oh, I've waited a week for my fried fillet treat.
AM, staff member Lily is on the kitchen.
Since 1892, St James's Park has been the home of Newcastle United. We are one of the only city centre clubs in the whole of the UK. It's the beating heart of the city. We call it the cathedral on the hill. It forms part of the history, the heritage, the fabric and the skyline of not just the city, but the people of Newcastle and the surrounding areas. We should be deeply and immensely proud of having our home at St James's Park. I know I am. Unfortunately, Newcastle United hasn't tasted domestic success since 1955. That's absolutely astonishing for a club the size of Newcastle United. And today, under new ownership, under Saudi Arabian ownership, who are ploughing money into the club, where it can, we can almost smell a trophy around the corner. We can almost see success in our peripheral vision. But we need a bigger stadium so more fans can bring more money. But are our new Saudi Arabian owners about to compromise and sacrifice a big part of Newcastle's history by moving away from St James's Park? But also, are they about to compromise and destroy two important pieces of Newcastle's history, i.e. putting a new stadium right here where I'm stood inside a Grade 2 listed park, Newcastle's oldest park. So in this video, I want to ask, is the success and more money for Newcastle United more important than the history and heritage of the city? It's coming up. Welcome back, it's Eddie here from Tyneside Live. Now, a couple of days ago, I released a video about the prospect of building a stadium here in Leazes Park, and I had an update, some news, having spoken to one of the key stakeholders of Leazes Park, the Park Management Authority, Urban Green, to see if they'd heard anything about a potential move of a stadium into the park. And the day I released that video, it was then announced in the press that Newcastle United, through Brad Miller, our Chief Operating Officer, a decision on the direction the club are going to take has been delayed until early 2025. Of course, most of us know that over the past few months there's been a deeply complex feasibility study being carried out by the club, and they've been looking at all the options of what they can and can't do and the possibilities of expansion or rebuild or relocate the stadium. As part of those discussions, because we're in a city centre location surrounded by listed buildings and a listed park, there will have been discussions with Newcastle City Council and the custodians of the land, the freemen of Newcastle United, which of course is where St James's Park is now, because even, for example, they were to rebuild in the current footprint but just encroach slightly into Leazes Park, they need to be chatting with the freemen of Newcastle and Newcastle City Council. It has been suggested to me a few times through comments since I released that video a couple of days ago that non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, would have been signed, and they wouldn't have told me anyway. So let me just explain about NDAs a little bit. If Newcastle United are actually trying to pursue the building of a stadium inside Leazes Park. Of course, NDAs will be signed. But Urban Green are integral to the park management. They work in partnership with Newcastle City Council, in partnership with the Freeman of Newcastle. To keep that a secret from Urban Green is quite an astonishing claim. If Urban Green, and of course the people who work in Urban Green will be aware of the same kind of speculation that we all are, had any sniff that there was some sort of huge multi-billion pound plans to put a huge stadium inside Leazes Park, and a YouTuber like me comes sniffing around asking for information, they wouldn't touch me with a barge pole. They would have either fobbed me off with an excuse or just completely ignored my initial approach, rather than fully cooperating, giving me all the information I asked for, and then on top of that, if they knew something at all, lied about any awareness of a park, a new stadium inside Leazes Park. If Craig Hope from the Daily Mail, as he is claiming, is aware of conversations between Newcastle United and the Freeman of Newcastle about the utilisation of Leazes Park, then as sure as damn it, Urban Green knew all about it. The reason Urban Green were quite cooperative and open with me with information is because there's nothing to tell of any significance. But let's just put all that aside just for a second. Let's just imagine that Urban Green are genuinely, completely oblivious to plans to build a multi-billion pound stadium in the park that they manage. And I am just getting this absolutely, completely wrong. Is this what it's all about now? Saudi Arabia, our new current owners, are going to sacrifice and compromise the history and heritage of our city just for a few extra thousand seats in a stadium to bring in more money? And let's just say, for example, the answer is yes to that question, to many of you Newcastle United fans out there that think that it's just a park. Some have claimed it's a dump, it's in a bit of a state. I'm not sure which Leazes Park you're referring to. I'm in here quite regularly, walking through the park at least once a week. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm deeply proud of the park that we have right behind St James's Park. But even if Newcastle City Council and the Freeman of Newcastle give the nod to the club about a stadium inside Leazes Park, they don't have a say on the final outcome, none of them, because it has to go to the public. We'll have conservation groups and local residents kicking up a fuss, pushing back, signing petitions. It's likely that all of this will, in time, it could take a couple of years and go through a very expensive process, end up in a public inquiry, and there is no guarantee that Newcastle United will win. The exact same circumstances that happened in 1997. And yes, times have changed since 1997. We have, as a society, become more ecologically aware. We are more driven to protect the ecology and the habitats of our areas and the green spaces that we have. So I would fully expect fierce pushback from residents and conservation groups. So are Newcastle United going to take that risk by saying, yeah, we're going to build a park and stadium in Leazes Park, only for a year, 18 months, 2 years down the line, they fail in that endeavour and then they're back to the drawing board? I don't think so, personally. All things considered, what do I personally think the club are deliberating right now before this announcement in 2025? And I think they're in essence deliberating over two completely different choices. One is to expand St James's Park, i.e. put some sort of extension tier, cantilever tier on top of the Gallagher end. We're only going to get 5,000 or 6,000 extra seats. It's an extension onto an already old stadium, a stadium with, in my opinion, poor facilities. And I've been to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and that is what a stadium should look like. This is old, it's outdated, and with an extension, you know, there are some risks with that, because they have said this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. There's only one cheque going to be written, and I interpret that as that deliberation between expanding St James's Park, but more likely rebuilding St James's Park where it currently sits. When they're talking about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Saudi Arabia, I have to believe, to give Newcastle, the fans of Newcastle, the city of Newcastle, a stunning super stadium where it's at now. In engineering terms, of course, I don't know exactly how they'll do that, but imagine this huge bowl of a stadium, like a big Aviva stadium, getting with 65, 70,000 seats inside of there. It'll be absolutely stunning, but there'll be disruption with that because we are going to probably have to find somewhere else to play. But there are opportunities, for example, with these flat pack stadiums that can be built, like the one in Qatar, which has a capacity of about 45,000. They might be able to negotiate with the Freemen of Newcastle to utilise the Town Moor for a couple of years to have a temporary stadium where we can play while they rebuild St James's Park. And when it's finished, they can dismantle a flat pack stadium, for example, and put it back, the moor, the way it looks today. And in the meantime, the whole city is benefiting, the area, the moors are benefiting by all this extra revenue and income that it's going to be getting. That's what I think. I think they want to rebuild St James's Park, and that's what they're deliberating over. So that's where I personally stand on all of this. Is money and potential success more important than the history and heritage of our city? Personally, I'm embarrassed by the talk and the glib notions and suggestions of just destroying famous and historical sites of the city of Newcastle just for money and potential success. I don't think it reflects very well on us at all.